know it's been a long time since I last did a review, but I'm now doing a review for Gears of War Judgment. This Gears of War is different from previous Gears of War because it is not from the perspective of Marcus Phoenix. Instead, it has a constantly changing perspective of the varying squad members of Lieutenant Baird. This one's far more character driven than the previous ones, which is something that works in its benefit because you're not constantly one soldier, you're seeing it through the different perspectives of every soldier. But without going into detail and spoiling it, I'm just going to say that it works overly well within the spectrum of which soldiers you're currently playing as and for the reasons as to why. Now, as for the gameplay itself, the gameplay is mostly the same with much better controls. You don't have to rely on the stupid, constantly sticking D pad for the constant changing of weapons. This time it's actually done by the Y button. So, yeah, they've actually finally caught up with the rest of video gaming for shooting purposes. I'm not a huge fan of their whole stars system of you earn like these X amount of stars and you get X amount of bonuses outside of the game. I'm not a big fan of that, but this is not something that I haven't seen in other games, and it primarily works, so it's at least functional. As for the game itself, I would have to say that while the gameplay is extremely well done and everything has been refined and been amped up in how well it is in quality, they did that by sacrificing a large amount of time that you do playing the game. I don't know whether that's because of the frustration level has been lowered or because of the fact that the frustration level within changing weapon has been lowered, but it is not as refined in format as how long you play. So I have to say that overall this game is a rent. It's not saying that hardcore gamers of Gears of War wouldn't like this. It's just that it's not a buy for anyone other than hardcore gamers.
This was a triumph. I'm making a note here, huge success. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction. Aperture science. We do what we must because we can. For the good of all of us, except the ones who are dead.